Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm actually getting ready to go out with the girls tonight, so I thought I would just come and answer some of your burning questions. Okay, answer the questions that y'all really want to know while I get myself together. On my last vlog of the year, you guys asked a bunch of questions. I have not looked at any of them yet because to me, I think Q&As are better when the answers are candid. So I'm going to open them up right now and see what we got. Okay, Linda Ritchie, hey girl. She says, Toni, what are your goals for yourself in 2023? You're always so interesting. Really? That's really nice to hear because I literally feel like I am YouTube's most boring vlogger because, you know, I don't do anything. But thank you for that. I really appreciate it. Anyways, blessings to you and yours in the new year. Hello to Mama Daley. I don't set resolutions. I stopped setting resolutions many years ago because I just honestly found them quite discouraging and counterproductive. I do, however, have goals for myself. I have personal goals, but most of my goals this year, to be honest, have to do with business. I've been working on some things in the background, and I've been a little bit wary of sharing here on YouTube because fortunately I have some people who actually, believe it or not, watch me and still try to like keep tabs on me and sabotage me and stuff like that. Some of the things that I've been working on would actually make really great content, but I decided to go with my gut and keep it under wraps. Plus, one of my favorite commenters, M. Samuel, she left a comment on one of my videos and I just took it as confirmation, like confirmation from God, you know? She always leaves such nice comments, and this comment she left, I can't remember which vlog it was, but she said, I screenshotted it. She said, protect your good image from the eyes of negative viewers who may look at your good appearance with an ugly, fiendish eye and ruin your positive qualities with their chemical-infested tongues. I said, God, say no more. I'm keeping everything I'm doing under wraps. So shout out to M. Samuel. Thank you for allowing God to use you. And then for personal goals, nothing too exciting. Like I said, I don't do much, but I do really want to try to break out of my comfort zone a little bit more. So whatever that looks like this year, I'm not 100% sure. It might look like travel. It might look like trying new things. It might look like new opportunities that I've been on the fence about. I don't know for sure, but I do tend to shy away from anything that is too outside of the norm for me. So I'm going to try to do a little bit less of that this year. Cecilia Gaines, shout out to you, girl. She says, do you think that you will show your next relationship on YouTube? I'm pretty sure I've been asked this in the past, but my answer is that it depends on the relationship. In the same way that you don't see all of my family members on YouTube, because some people don't want to be on YouTube. Some people are camera shy. Some people don't like the idea of being on the internet. Some people like to control the editing of their own image. So it really depends on the relationship. And then there are some people who love social media, who are already active on social media. You just never know what you're going to get, especially with people around my age group. It's kind of 50-50. So really it depends on the relationship. But if you're asking, am I against sharing? No, I'm not against sharing. I'm going to link all the products I'm using down below. That way I don't make the video longer than I need to, okay? So just check down below if you're interested in anything. Zaisha, hey girl, other than he who shall not be named, Voldemort, yes. Other than he who shall not be named, who did you real dirty and how do you handle it? I think she means how did I handle it? And then what are the age gaps between you and your siblings? Are you still staging houses? And how is the housing market in Canada? I think maybe you made a typo, so I'm not 100% sure what you meant, but I'm guessing your question is how did I handle it? And I have a plethora of videos on that already, so I will go ahead and link one in the atmosphere for you. Second question, what is the age gaps between you and your siblings? So I am the youngest of 6. So I have 3 sisters and 2 brothers. We range in age from 40s to 60s. So the age difference between me and the next sibling up, so the next youngest after me, is I believe 8 years between me and Charm, aka Love and Locks, who you guys have met on this channel before. And yeah, it goes up from there. Am I still staging houses? So no, not staging houses per se. I love you guys to death. I love that you guys encouraged me to try it, but I really said early on, like, not everything has to be monetized. Let me have a hobby. Just let me have a hobby. It is backbreaking, hard labor with early hours, and I don't like that. I learned a lot that I took away and that I use in my personal projects as well as my my client projects. However, I'm working more in a consulting capacity as opposed to physical staging. And so that's what I'm focusing on going forward, is decor and design as opposed to staging. And how is the housing market in Canada? I can't speak for the entire country. The same way that if I ask you how the housing market is in the US, you know, I'm sure you wouldn't know because you don't house hunt all over the US, you just house hunt in your city. So if you're asking about the housing market in Toronto, the housing market in Toronto is expensive. The rest of the country, you'd have to do research on that yourself. Mrs. Matthews says, how do I feel about Heyoka empaths? You know what? I'm so sorry. I'm not familiar with that term at all, or that type of empath at all. So I'll have to look into that and get back to you. So Divine 12, hey girl, would I plan a meet and greet in the States? No, I would not. I'm just not a meet and greet person. And I discovered that actually early on in my YouTube career, for lack of a better term. When I started on YouTube, that was, you know, it was before Instagram, it was before TikTok. It was just YouTube. So we weren't called influencers back then. We were really just called YouTubers because there were no other social platforms. A big thing that YouTubers did, especially in the natural hair space, was meet and greets. Natural hair shows were huge, and, you know, natural hair YouTubers would be invited to do meet and greets at these natural hair shows, as well as like speaking events and stuff like that. And I always wondered why I wasn't enjoying it. Meet and greets really trigger my anxiety a lot, and so it's not something that I enjoy planning or look forward to. So I actually was much happier once I realized that and started doing YouTube on my own terms and stopped comparing my journey to everybody else's. It was okay that I was, you know, turning down the speaking engagements, that, you know, I wasn't on Cream of Nature's you know, hair dye tour. The reason I started YouTube is because this is what I like doing. Sitting in my room by myself with a camera. It is literally an introvert's ideal hobby, and that's how I like it. So once I decided that I didn't have to follow this route that, you know, a typical YouTuber or influencer had to do, is when I actually really started enjoying YouTube. I have made some actual real life friends from YouTube and some genuine connections with other YouTubers, but I'm definitely a slow burner and it takes me quite a while to get there. Melody Caraballo says, Happy New Year. My question for you is this: how would one do the big move to Canada if they were interested, and what is the best area to live? Love you so much. Love you too. Okay, so if you guys are interested in moving to Canada, then you would go on Canada's government website, which is canada.ca, and visit the immigration tab. I will link it down below, where you can read up on the requirements and eligibility of immigration as well as citizenship. Once you do that, my biggest suggestion would be to book a flight. Canada is a huge country. As you guys know, it's bigger than the US, so it just really depends what you're looking for in terms of what area you would end up. If you want diversity and 4 seasons, then Toronto, I would suggest, which is where I'm from. If you're looking for nature and nice weather, then Vancouver, which is located in British Columbia, would probably be a better city for you because they have much milder weather, barely get any snow, warmer winters, and beautiful, beautiful, gorgeous landscapes like mountains and blue water, and it's just stunning. If you're looking for cheap, then maybe you'd want to look into something like Edmonton, which is in Alberta. to each their own. So like I said, do your research, book a flight, and visit. Chrissy's Life, hey girl, she says, my question is, would you ever consider getting breast implants or breast enhancement surgery? What advice would you give? I recently watched another YouTuber that took us on her journey. I'm considering it, but scared as heck. So I actually have never considered breast enhancement surgery or boob implants. Little known fact about me, I kind of have great boobs, you guys. They've always been my favorite feature on my body. I just have really nice boobs, and so I wouldn't want to touch them. But I'm not against cosmetic surgery. I definitely am very much interested in lipo 360. And my biggest piece of advice is research your doctor, and please make sure you are going to a board certified plastic surgeon, not cosmetic surgeon. There's so many horror stories out here about women getting botched or having serious life-altering complications just because they wanted to save a few bucks. If you are interested in somebody putting you to sleep and literally cutting your body open, please, it is not the time to look for a sale or a deal. Go to the best, not the cheapest. Personally, I already know which clinic I would be going to if and when I do get plastic surgery, because I've already researched my doctor. I've already been following him for years. I already know his work. I already know that he has thousands of surgeries under his belt. I already know that he's had 0 losses, and that's what I would be more comfortable with, as opposed to, you know, the pockets. Like, your life is more important than saving $1,000 or $2,000 or however many $1,000. Your life is more important than that. As long as you have a skilled surgeon, breast augmentation surgery is a piece of cake. It's literally, I'm speaking like I'm a plastic surgeon, but I feel like I could perform it. I've watched so many. Like, it's literally one of the easiest, I think, surgeries to perform. Just do your research so that you know what to expect, and so that you have realistic expectations, because it is surgery. It's not magic. It's not a miracle. It's surgery. So make sure that you have realistic expectations. Oh, that's Coco. Hey girl, I was waiting for this question. Do you still have your single lock? I do not, you guys. Remember, I got a wisdom lock installed back here. So I have this bad habit of pulling the hair out right here in the back of my nape. It's very satisfying for me, but I realize that it's very problematic, and so for that reason I decided to get a lock installed. It was so cute. I loved her. I named her Sasha. I did one retightening, but then a month later, during my first wash day, unfortunately she did not survive. So I no longer have her, and I am back to pulling my hair out. I know. Misty Southall says, I have a question, Toni. Hey girl, what is one thing you would tell a person to do to build their credit? Okay, I'm a divorcee and my dream is to buy my first home. Any suggestions would be greatly appreciated. So building your credit, honestly, you cannot be afraid of debt. That's literally the only way, or I would say the easiest way to build credit, is taking on debt. So it's definitely scary, especially as a divorcee girl. I get it. So it's really a delicate balance. But if you can get a credit card under your name, use it as often as you can for your daily expenses. And then when you get your statement, pay the majority of it off. You do want to carry a minimum balance so you can keep a little bit on there. Of course, you don't want to let it get out of hand because it can run away from you. Ariana, hey girl. So you didn't leave me a question, but you did give me a suggestion about my period pain. You took the time to leave quite a lengthy comment, so I wanted to make sure I shouted you out. I actually have started taking magnesium, so you know, we'll see if it makes a difference. Tina, hey Tina Branch. Tina's one of my favorites. She comments regularly. So she has a question about the vitamin supplements that Marley's vet recommended for her. I don't know if you guys can see her in the background. It says, I started cooking for my little ones. The seniors stopped eating. The seniors break my heart. And lost lots of weight. Since putting them on a homemade diet, he's doing well, but I know I should add vitamins and I know I should take him to the vet, but I can't afford it. Now he's doing well. Okay, number one suggestion from my vet for Marley, who is also a senior, is omega-3. So it's like in a pump bottle. It's like liquid oil form. You can find it at most pet stores or at your vet clinic. And depending on how much your dog weighs, you can add the appropriate amount of pumps to his food. Marley weighs probably like maybe 16 pounds. So she just gets 2 pumps on her food on a daily basis. So it's really good for their eyesight. As you guys know, Marley is going blind. It's good for their organ health, and it's good for their brain as well, because she is starting to show signs of early dementia. So yeah, definitely that's the number one recommended supplement. And then number two, glucosamine. You can find different forms of glucosamine. I found one that she loves from the pet store, and it's actually just a meal topper that I sprinkle on top of her food. She loves it. Apparently it tastes really good. And yeah, that's just to make it a little easy for them, because, you know, their joints. So glucosamine is really great for her joints and her skin and her coat. So, you know, just to alleviate some of that pain and tightness. So yeah, I hope your little ones are doing well, and hopefully these supplements help make their life a little bit easier. Oh my God, Lori's live. Hey girl, she's one of my faves. I'll link her channel down below. Anyways, she says, when did you start wearing makeup? That's a good question. So, okay, so technically I started wearing makeup in high school. I wasn't allowed to wear it before then. But in high school, I was a pizza face. Like, unfortunately, I was not in the clear skin gang during high school. It was traumatic, okay? So that's when I started wearing makeup, but it was only foundation. I literally just wore it to cover my marks because, of course, on dark skin, acne comes with hyperpigmentation. Thank God for MAC back then, because MAC was... And that's one of the reasons why I'll always love MAC, is because MAC has always been inclusive. I know Fenty came in and put everybody to shame with their shade range, but honestly, 80s, 90s, before social media, before all of this inclusivity, MAC was that girl. So shout out to MAC Cosmetics. For me, it was Studio Fix. Still use it to this day, girl. The Studio Fix Powder Plus Foundation, that's what I wore in high school. In high school, it would just be my Studio Fix, my Revlon lipstick. Oh, do you guys remember the name? What was the name? It was Toast of New York. So I would say at the end of high school is when I started wearing something other than the foundation. The lipstick, I started filling in my brows. Mascara, I've always loved mascara. And then it kind of blossomed from there, girl. Yasmin Scott, hey girl. She says, Happy New Year. Do you eat seafood? I feel like I've never seen you cook or order it, but that doesn't mean anything. If not, is it allergies, preference, geographical location, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so I have cooked seafood. I have an ackee and saltfish video on my channel. I don't love seafood, but I do eat some types of fish, but I don't eat like shrimp or lobster or I don't eat any bottom feeders for real. Like, my mind cannot no, I can't. So yeah, I guess it would just be preference. I can't get over how much they look like bugs. Cannot. They are bugs. I think they're bugs, guys. I really didn't want to offend anybody who eats, like, you know, crabs and shrimp and all that stuff, but oh my God. I hate bugs so much, and I just don't want to eat them. Misha Powell says, are you playing a role in Keisha? Oh, any new business adventures for 2023? Are you playing a role in Keisha's wedding? Hashtag my nigga. I'm not a real royal watcher, but with the passing of the Queen, did it impact Canada? And girl, when are we going to get a glimpse of this person you're going on all these dates with? Okay, girl, so many questions. New business ventures. Yes, I have been working on a couple things, you know, in the back end, which I'm excited to share with you guys, but it's just not quite time yet. Like, things are just not quite there yet. But I can't wait to absolutely share with you. I definitely will be playing a role in Keisha's wedding. She is one of my best friends and one of my, as I refer to, platonic life partners. and one of my favorite nieces, and so I'm very excited to, you know, play a role in her wedding. I will be a bridesmaid, obviously. And yeah, and I'm just looking forward to, you know, helping in whatever way she needs help. Did the passing of the Queen affect Canada? So we are part of the British Commonwealth. You know, we do have national holidays that coincide with the UK. The Queen's birthday is a national holiday. However, you know, she's just a figurehead. We don't actually really care. I'm sorry if that offends any of my Black Brits, but like, we do not care. So no, it didn't really affect us, to be honest. I mean, I didn't even mention it on my channel, so that probably just goes to show you, yeah, it didn't affect us. And when are we gonna get a glimpse of this person or persons that you're going on dates with? Maybe this year I will start showing the people that I'm dating. However, like I said, it's just like, not everybody's a vlogger, you know. I know it seems really natural when I do it, and I just be pulling out the camera and everybody around me, you know, loves it, but it's not actually that way in real life. I'm sure you can imagine going on a date and setting up a camera on the table and lights and everything like that. Not everybody's with it, and I totally understand that. The people who I live with and the people in my life are very used to me being a vlogger because I've been doing it for over a decade, but the people that I'm dating are not. So yeah, maybe you'll get a glimpse here and there. It just depends on the person and the atmosphere, I guess. Next is Terry Joseph Miller. Hey girl. So she says, my question is, would you consider getting another fur baby? I would in the future. Basically, one at a time is how I feel. I think Marley deserves my full attention, especially now that she's a senior. And I just wouldn't want to do that to her in her old age. She's not really a fan of other dogs, so I wouldn't want to upset her last years. But I definitely would consider dog ownership again. Although I don't think I want to do the puppy stage again. Puppy stage was not enjoyable for me, so maybe next time around I'd look into like a rescue. Tanya Ross says, a few years ago I bought a beautiful wood piece that looks similar to Lauryn Hill. Would you have any more pieces available in the future? If you're talking about my Lauryn earrings, I do still have them available on my website, so I'll link that below. But I think you might be talking about wooden art. I am definitely wanting to release art this year. That's one of the things that I've been working on, but not quite yet, so I'll definitely keep you posted. Speaking of Lauryn, the Lauryn t-shirt. I did a TeePublic haul, some t-shirts that I purchased for myself and the girls over the holidays. Apparently the Lauryn Hill t-shirt that I showed you guys is not available anymore. I'm sorry guys, sometimes you just gotta jump on stuff. But I did make a similar style. It's not Lauryn, but she is a beautiful black diva, Miss Diana Ross, in a similar style to the one that I showed in that video. So if you're interested, you can check out my TeePublic shop for that as well. And that is it, y'all. That concludes all of my questions that I received for the new year. Thank you to everybody who took the time to comment, to leave me a question. Can we get into these lashes? I know. Get into these lashes, girl. Bella Galore, black owned. My robe is black owned as well. If you watch my supportive sister hauls, you would have seen it, but I'll link it down below as well. So that's it for now, guys. I'm gonna go finish getting dressed. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.